Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Jace Beleren Must Die. I'm Adam Coble. These are my friends. It's April 1st, which I guess means that if you're supposed to tell a big joke and do something you don't normally do, this is the episode where we play by all of the rules and have some like complex combat encounters, and we spend the whole episode talking about game mechanics. I think that's how we have to do. Because how do you tell a joke when the whole show is already a joke? I don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone agreed that like April Fool's was canceled this year, right?
Get out of here.
Thank you. Thank you.
I sent the Slack message being like, hey guys, I found out that we're recording on April 1st. Please don't. Please don't. And then no one responded in the affirmative. Only TK responded, and it was just with a bunch of little dots. And I was like, hey, that did not help.
Hey, when did you say that?
I literally was like, hey, please don't.
I don't remember you writing that, but I guess you did. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you did say that. And I apparently also did respond. Like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like sand through the hourglass, so goeth our interactions with one another. Wait, did I say that? I don't remember that at all.
I don't, and I always feel bad because I'm like, am I gaslighting or is it my depression giving me short-term memory loss?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not normally a big. I know some people are very into the idea of April Fools, right? This idea that there's a day where you can say whatever you want and then just be like, haha, JK. But like, it feels like maybe now is not the right time for that. There are some companies that I think like get it. Like for a really long time, Blizzard used to do really funny like made up patch notes for their games on April Fools, which was always kind of nice because everybody knew it was coming and it was like a yearly excuse to make a joke. But yeah, I'm not a big pranks kind of guy in general.
Yeah,
so
I'm not a pranks person either. And I think because people thought I was a prank person growing up and I would get blamed for other people's shitty pranks. Like, oh, Carlos did it. Oh, why? Because I make fun of you? That's not a reason why I like make a prank. Like, it's stupid.
They're two totally different disciplines.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. I think that's how I wanted to explain it. So I do not do pranks at all. And I get upset when people like think I do pranks.
Guys, I love pranks. I
Do
absolutely
you really?
love
Masood
pranks.
would. Masood totally would love pranks.
I do love pranks.
He's so
Come
quiet.
on, pulling someone's seat out right when they're about to sit down. Oh, it's so good.
I don't believe. No, you're
doing
joking.
bits.
You're joking. No.
I love them. When someone walks in front of you and you kick their foot behind them, so it like slips up and like they trip. Like, oh, that's so much fun.
I love the idea that everybody's talking about pranks and the Masood's like, I love pranks. I hit this guy with my car the other day. What a chump.
Oh god, I like hiding behind corners and popping out and like scaring people I know. Like, that's fun to me. Oh god, I used to do this thing where when I'm walking down the street, only to other friends who are male, because you'll understand, and I would follow extremely close behind this person and just like invade their personal space to the point they're like, who is, like they like freak out and then they realize it was me and they're like, oh, see, this is a fun bit. I'm not here to get you.
So that's one of the most like anxiety inducing things of all time for me. People do this to me at cons sometimes, where they like come up behind you and hug you, or like just the
that's
like
weird.
No,
oh god,
don't touch my body.
Yeah. See, my approach is safe, but
Only
funny
I
because
touch
it's
my
dangerous.
I'm looking forward to 2021 April Fool's Day, where we just do Jace Beleren Must Live, and we just play a bunch of Belerians, just trying to make sure that good boy makes it home.
Like a Saving Private Ryan episode.
We have to save the world's greatest douchebag.
Just like
But we
Saving
can't
Private
say
Ryan.
anything mean about him the whole session. That's the thing.
Relax.
That's the bit.
Yeah, I don't know if we would have the patience for that. I feel like we'd get 5 minutes in and just be like, nope, get out of here. Because I'd make it difficult for you. I'd be like,
For sure.
all right, so first, describe your sexy Jace Beleren back tattoo. Go.
We got to do full satire. Well, you see, it starts all the way at my toes and it goes to the back of my head. I'm shaved from. It's literally a reverse. When I flip around, you see him in the buff.
So
I will be
the Chris
playing
Cross of Jace
Chadius, and I will have a Samoan tribal-esque tattoo. All
Nice.
Do you
Here's
guys
the thing,
remember?
on my
is
pecs.
You underestimate our bit commitment.
Mhm.
If you since now you've said that we couldn't do it, we would do it seriously the entire time just to
100%.
spite you.
I am more invested in hurting you than I am
Yes,
playing
that's
a game that
precisely
everyone
that.
enjoys.
I will
commit
kill
to any
Torgor
bit.
for this bit. I will play a Balerion
Yeah,
that kills
Yeah.
Torgor.
100%.
And Torgor will
Just
ask why.
pulls a gun out and blows him away straight in the face.
Blast Torgor.
Just blasts him, blows him away.
I want to know how this turned into the Ravnican equivalent of like Reservoir Dogs so fast. Like,
Yeah.
so the episode starts and all the PCs are tied to a chair, and then your new PCs come in and then have to kill them.
Yeah.
That's a good season changeover.
Yeah.
I do like that. Oh, that's a good move.
It became like that because you didn't come up with it first.
Has that ever happened in a TV show where they just replace the entire cast between seasons?
Yeah, The Walking Dead.
Did they? Yeah, that makes
No.
sense. That's a
I
show
don't
I can
watch
believe
it.
that from. But
I
yeah,
just know a lot of people die a lot.
yeah,
I
And
think.
you can only have one black person on the cast.
they just rotate them out.
I mean, The Wire kind of did it.
Oh yeah.
Were they just like different people that you like focused on?
yeah,
each
that's
season?
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie made The Wire was a show.
Wait. No. Are you drinking water today?
I'm drinking water with hydrolyte in it.
What is wrong with water?
It's already water.
It's already hydrating you. What do you need to add hydro
Can I
to
just
it?
point out, I'm not the baby, she said as she drank her Pedialyte.
Why did you
never said I wasn't baby. That's the thing. Listen, sometimes I forget to hydrate, and then the next day I'm like, I gotta get a head start.
Hydrolyte.
You're staying
is
inside.
hydrolyte?
Yeah.
I don't
What is
even know
hydrolyte?
what hydrolyte. Yeah, what is hydrolyte?
It's
I
just like
imagine-
it wraps.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
What is it?
And then what
This is,
happened?
this is how we get sponsorship. Please give us an
I
ad.
really wanted Carlos to just pull up. Is that a silica gel? I wanted Carlos to pull up a bang, like as he was asking you.
It's a natural orange flavor, oral electrolyte powder. So that's what it is.
So it's Gatorade.
Oh,
It's Gatorade powder.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
more like a Kool-Aid. So
It's not
It's
Kool-Aid.
like health
It
Kool-Aid.
tastes-
Gatorade
tastes weird but
is
salty.
already more like a Kool-Aid.
it's just a powder.
A lot of
It's one of those sweet electrolytes, okay? And I know my only job is to be inside right now, but it almost makes taking care of myself harder. So
Yeah, I pretty much track time now based on when the last time I bathed was and how often I'm doing laundry. Right? I was like,
yeah.
this morning I was like, well, this is the last pair of socks, so it must have been 9 days now. So
Oh, God.
that's good. I have a lot of socks. I think at some point I thought I lost most of them and I went out and I bought a whole bunch of pairs and then I found all my socks and now I have like 18 pairs. It's not good.
You sound like
yeah.
Hubin. Hubin waits until all the socks are dirty and then buys a new pack. So we have.
So what do you do with all the old dirty socks?
I wash them.
Right, and so you end up with 40 pairs of socks.
Yeah, a gajillion socks.
Yeah.
And also whenever we go to SEA, he'll like just grab a thing of socks and like throw it in our packs. And it's like,
You don't have special anachronism socks? You don't have like medieval sockwear, or is
No,
that okay?
we do.
You can. Oh, so you
we
have your
do,
special?
but he tries not to wear any of like the wool socks or anything when he's fighting.
Yeah.
So
There you
yeah.
go.
because it's like, why get them dirty? We don't have that many pairs.
I feel like this is like a variable thing as far as because so we're talking about the SEA, which if folks don't know is like it's adjacent to a Renaissance fair, but also kind of like camping, and there's fighting.
Just call it hard LARP.
Yeah, right. And
Was that with like the foam swords and like the actual yeah?
Well, it's rattan. So
Rattan,
it's
thank
a
you.
hardened baboon or
Yes.
babu,
Oh.
bamboo. But like, and and a lot of SEA people are like, oh, it's not like LARP. And I was like, we have fake ass kingdoms where we quote an oath of fealty that you lifted from Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the bar for what is or isn't a LARP is very, very low. Like if you get up in the morning and you pretend that you're not miserable all day, boom, LARPing.
That's a LARP.
You did it. That's a psychological LARP. Nice work. But some SEA groups are very, very picky about.
Hold on. Katie May, did you just say, Katie May just said, oh, but as if, sounds like I'm trying to live a LARP.
A bit. I like
it. Am I living a LARP?
as I'm desperately drinking fucking Hydrolite, like, okay.
I wonder what that would be like.
Just a LARP.
A LARP, you say.
A LARP. Interesting.
Fealty, you say.
I mean, like, honestly,
sorry, Adam, go on. I
it's
totally cut you off.
essentially a LARP. Yeah.
It is, yeah. Well, it's just that sometimes I was concerned because some of these groups are very aggressive about wearing the correct apparel, and that if you got caught wearing modern socks, you might be chastised by your liege or asked to leave the LARP because of your inappropriate footwear.
Yeah, a lot of them aren't that bad anymore, and to be honest, they have bigger problems. So
fair.
Is the kingdom next door really knocking at the gate? Is that what's going on? Or
no, but have you ever noticed that we have very few same-sex or brown kings or queens?
Yeah. Yeah,
weird.
Go figure.
Yeah, it's always so interesting whenever they're like, oh man, what if we could get our recruitment up, like, and not just target young white liberals and stuff, which is fine, whatever. And I'm like, okay, let's go to an HBCU. And they're like, who is she? I don't know her.
What's that?
Neat.
Yeah.
Because you're in Atlanta. So
yeah, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I spent a fair amount of time in my late teens going to SEA events because it was fulfilling both my parents' requirement that I spend time outside and do stuff that wasn't just hiding in the basement, and I could pretend like I was a medieval character. So it worked out great for me in both ways.
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting that you like went to SEA to be outside.
Yeah, because my parents were just like, you can't just sit around playing role-playing games all day. It's never going to get you anywhere. Get out of the house. And I was like, fine, Mom. I'm going to D&D camp.
Yeah. It's so funny because so many people in the SEA are super into D&D and Magic. Yeah. So it's like honestly, if you just like bring like a pack of cards, you will find a gajillion people just like, oh my God, somebody else brought their cards, please.
Yeah, ours was fairly strict on the like you have to pretend. Like it was sort of immersion focused, but there were definitely some times where it was like, well, it's 1 a.m. Everybody's either drunk or asleep. Everybody that's still left who wants to play some role-playing games.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Which is like you're nesting, you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, but you're already in the middle of a LARP camp. So it's just like it's RPGs all the way down.
Are you in Kingdom of the West or are you in like Oertho or Principality of the Mist?
Appledore was where I was. So it's
and Carlos, where's yours?
So this is
mine is near Hufflepuff Village and
Carlos is in LA. So he's, solid
New York Castle.
Oh wait, I actually know you guys. So like Carlos is actually in Kingdom of the West, and then Katie May and Masood are both in the Middle Kingdom, which is that's
they just ran out of things.
No, it was the second. It was like the second or third one made. So you had East, West, and Middle.
So I just checked. Appledore was part of Tier Rye in Antir. So it's like
Antir, you're in Antir. That makes sense.
Listen, we're allowed. For every
y'all are trying to make
episode,
fun of me, but I'm not going to let you.
For every episode that TK and I sat here listening to you assholes talk about reality TV, buckle up because we're talking about SEA now. So
could we get to Tiger King? I've been waiting patiently.
Dude, I know.
By the way, Middle Kingdom's motto is Draco Invictus. So that's pretty fucking badass. Pretty metal.
Yeah.
I do have a question about this. Could I, if I like using my 20 charisma, got a bunch of people together from Chicago, and then showed up to an event for the Middle Kingdom, could I establish a city-state
No.
of an own. I could not like usurp rule. Then what does it matter?
What's the point?
You need like a minimum of 30 people to.
Okay, I could get 30 people. Yeah.
I mean that's an improv show right there.
With
come on.
You have to have
that's just 2 improv
30
troops, TK.
And I think you need like a.
It's not even an audience.
I think the majority of you have to be paid members, so you do have to pay for it.
Oh,
well.
Oh, that's
so if you're looking to put money into it, yes.
For
the
this
real
level
answer,
of live chaos.
The real answer to your question, Carlos, of what is the point is the answer is heraldry. Heraldry is the point. Because if you don't know what kingdom you're a part of, how are you going to know what to put on your crest?
Whatever I want. Isn't that how you guys decide?
Really
Simply put whatever you want on a heraldic crest.
Again,
you actually can, as long as it isn't somebody else's.
Every major decision in human history has been 2 guys sitting around a table saying, you know what would be dope? Like that's all it is. Like, you know what would be dope? A tiger on that shield. Hell yeah, let's do that shit.
Exactly. And you can.
Everyone else agree with them.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Yeah.
But your kingdom crest can't be the same as what you're wearing. You actually have a populous crest.
Yeah, there you go.
So just don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Put whatever you want on there, but
what would be
watching?
Carlos, what would be on your heraldic crest if you had one? Would it just be like a tiger drinking a Bang energy or what?
A tiger banging a Bang energy.
A tiger riding a skateboard, cracking a Bang energy, wearing a backwards ball cap and some Oakleys.
And a bubble that says what it is, my man.
Yeah. It's like off-brand animal Bart Simpson. That's what I think of when I think of you, Carlos.
Yeah. Hubin wanted an orange and purple, what he calls a whale-a-corn, which is a narwhal.
Yeah, it's just a narwhal. Yeah.
But refused to call it a narwhal. He wanted to call it a whale-a-corn.
It already has a name. Come now.
Come on. My friend started a band called the Narwhals, so they can do it.
Nice.
He can put one on a shield.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Masood, I do want to give you the opportunity because I know that Monday evening you were like, I'm saving it. I have to wait. So do you want to talk about the Tiger Man? Go ahead, please.
I would love to talk about Tiger King.
Who watched it?
Who's watched it?
So
that's the question.
I haven't watched it, but I listened to a podcast that ruined the whole show. So I feel like I know enough about it that I can still participate.
I really wish like truly you and Carlos have like watched it, because as a documentary, it's fascinating how much time this guy has spent doing it. Like it arches and it like covers such a good arc that this guy like was there for, and you physically see him in the footage. So like the level of trust and a relationship that's built, like.
So it's a documentary about a guy.
It's about it's about like big cat zoos in America and the people who run some of them,
but also murder.
Also, and yeah, it's crazy. There's a guy who was like indicted, and like he's a former mob dude who like now owns a bunch of tigers, and he's like the most sane person that you meet out of the entire cat. It's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically it follows the politics of just like all of these people who own cats, who own like tigers and stuff. And it's very much, and it follows like more than a year.
No, yeah, it's years. Yeah.
Of the sort of politics of like this one woman who's dedicated to taking, because it's not like zoos, they're like rich.
Yeah, like, that's why I don't know if I could watch it, because I can't watch a bunch of like cats being in like not taken care of properly, because they cannot be taken care of properly, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
they live in cities and like in small cages, or like they're abused somehow, right? I can't watch that. They're
shockingly
very in a small cage right now.
There's limited footage of direct tiger abuse, but they do talk about it and sort of like the issues dealing with it, particularly in like the legal industry that is happening in the US.
The trick, I think the trick is that all of the, and this is some of the tension of the sort of relationship, is that all the characters that own the tigers, right? they have a surplus of interest and passion for like owning exotic animals, but they don't have necessarily the means or the skill or the like wherewithal to care for them properly. Like Tiger King dude owns some like, what was it, like 200 tigers or something?
Oh my God.
And it's like, yeah, dude, I get it that you want to like try to save all these tigers and take care of all the tigers and stuff, but it's like, you just don't have the infrastructure for that shit, man. It's too many tigers. You should have stopped at 1 or maybe 0. 0 tigers is a great number of tigers to be responsible for. Yeah. Yeah. But I think they lean into because there's like a murder mystery kind of thread through it, and it feels very much like a modern docu-series. Yeah.
He has many murders, arrests.
Yeah.
One governor campaign, one presidential campaign,
several marriages, much polygamy,
a lot of meth.
They just feed. Wait, they're killing people with tigers, or are they killing people for tigers?
That's one rumor, and allegedly, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Dominance over the Tiger Kingdom, basically.
Carol should continue her murdering spree. Go, Carol. That's what I gotta say about that.
Today on Jace Beleren Must Die, Katie May, pro-murdering.
Pro murder. Carol can just continue her murdering spree and just take all of them out.
She's
the anti-villain we love and need.
I'm kind of here for it, but she's got to start with Kevin Antle. I'm not calling him. The Doc Antle needs to go first.
Yes.
And God.
That character reminded me a lot of the there's another cult documentary on Netflix that I watched recently and can't remember the name of, but it was about that cult that moved to Oregon and set up in the late 80s, set up a big compound there. The leader of that cult and that doctor guy from Tiger King remind me a lot of one another. That was the thing that I attached to, the like weird, charismatic, like, look at all the tigers I have. Come, join me in my tiger paradise. Like,
yeah, that's when you just realize that this man just wants to own things. It doesn't matter what those things are. He would just like to own them.
If it has a heartbeat or if it like has thoughts, doesn't matter.
I'd like to own that.
Wild Wild Country. That's the name of that one.
Yes, that's what
that was the one. God, that was a good doc too. That was really fun to watch. I just like cults though, so maybe not everybody.
I'm looking forward to they're making a movie about the Tiger King, like back and forth, and they're gonna have Kate McKinnon play Carol Baskin, which I think is perfect. Oh
yeah,
so ideal.
Nice.
It's good.
I feel have they cast the rest of it, or just like they're releasing little bits and pieces of the casting? Do we know who the Tiger King is going to be? And is it David Spade?
People keep saying that it should be David Spade, but I think that's just because people saw Joe Dirt in their life and they can't like.
Right. I mean, they do kind of look alike, but that's fair.
I saw a picture with Rainn Wilson as like as the guy.
I could do that. I think he's got a lot more range than David Spade and could probably pull it off better.
Yeah, I mean it's not like David Spade's super busy right now though. So
he hosting a show
he has his own talk show now
on Comedy Central, right?
I don't know. I thought it was just on the internet. So I guess he does have time.
I was about to say, like,
we have a show we have a talk show.
I mean, if we're comparing things, yeah, me too. I also have a talk show.
But our show's 3 hours. This is only 30 minutes. So
true.
Checkmate, David Spade.
Coming up in here.
But is this the episode where we develop a beef with David Spade?
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean develop? It's in there.
Well, I know whose agent I need to reach out to cameo as Jace Beleren now. Let me just.
I would love to do a guest episode with David Spade on this show. I would honestly, it would be my privilege to roast him in his face.
Okay. All right.
Katie, man, do you need an adult to explain to you who David Spade is, or are you good?
Yeah.
I think I'm okay.
Okay, good. Cool.
I think I'm good.
Do you ever see Tommy Boy?
No.
No, really? It's
really?
good film. You got time.
You're right. I got time. Okay, time to watch The Real Housewives of New Jersey and hate myself openly. And I'll let you know when I'm done doing that.
Yeah, I'm just waiting until April 10th. It's around the corner.
There was a really, really long time where I thought that Dana Carvey and David Spade were the same person.
Yes, absolutely. For a moment, I was like, he was in Wayne's World. I was like, nope, that's not right.
I have this problem with a handful of like similar looking white actors. Like I can't tell Jessica Alba and the other Jessica apart.
There's a few of them.
Yeah.
There's the woman from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, the one that was in Lost.
Evangeline Lilly and Liv Tyler. Yeah.
She looks like 3 other famous people, and I get her confused all the time. And then there's like all the Zooey Deschanel people that look alike too. And I can't remember their names.
Evangeline, a little trivia about Evangeline Lilly, TK, she's also from the Kingdom of Appledore.
I'm still mad at her about the Hobbit, so we're not going to talk about her.
You're not going to be mad at her for taking her kids out to gymnastics still? That's not going to be...
Oh, I don't follow her, so yes, I'm mad at her for that too, I guess.
That's the only reason I brought her up, because I saw in an article that she's like believes in freedom and she's gonna continue past this quarantine or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, funerals aren't free, so I'll pray for your kids, I guess. Whatever.
This is the episode. We're beefing with everyone.
And you know, I'm just saying, CPS ain't gonna get sent out to her house.
Okay, so
ICE has got time.
Today on the Twitch D&D channel, we desperately attempt to pick fights with celebrities until someone notices us.
Maybe if they got in a fight with us, they would stop singing Imagine. Like they ain't got thousands and thousands of millions of dollars in their mansions. Whatever.
What celebrity do you guys have beef with then?
There's plenty. If you want to say like most people like, let's say like that people generally enjoy.
We're talking small beef. We're not talking this is taking up so much of my time. I freaking hate this person. Just like I'd punch this person if I could.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg.
Wait, that's way
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, dude.
Marky Mark. Yeah.
He made a Vietnamese dude blind in like the 90s, and nobody talks about it. Him and his buddies like shit out of this dude. I'm 100%. Look this up.
Yeah, for real.
Totally punch Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude.
How did you have such a perfect answer to Carlos's question?
You asked me who I had beef with, as if I don't have time to think about it.
Oh yeah.
Crystallize it perfectly.
Yeah. Hate crimes are at the top of that list.
Yeah,
so
for real,
definitely.
man.
Marky Mark is a good one. Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson's up there.
That's blind Vietnamese assault victim.
I think Mel Gibson's pretty low hanging fruit in terms of having beef.
Okay,
That's good.
You're right.
Wow, he was charged with attempted murder?
I had no idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
I would say Rick James, but that seems like it would be a really easy punch.
He's dead.
Yeah.
No, I just want to have a picture of TK punching Rick James's headstone in a cemetery. Like, Rick James.
Just like the Kill Bill montage. Yeah. Eventually, the stone cracked.
God, I gotta think of an actor that like I don't hate but would punch, because I'm kind of like Bill Cosby,
yeah, right, like,
R. Kelly. It's like, dang, I don't know.
Thank you, whoever said the views and opinions of this podcast do not represent Wizards of the Coast or Hasbro, because it should be stated.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got a really tight relationship with Marky Mark, and I jeopardize a future crossover campaign.
On the phone with Hasbro, and Hasbro was like, "Oh, if I got one punch, it'd be Marky Mark."
Yeah.
Now that like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all said that, and like the perfect person popped in my head, but I'm not gonna say who it is, so I'm gonna go back. For very important reasons. I'm not going to say who it is. I will type it in the Zoom chat.
Okay.
But,
hell yeah.
But I'm just going to go back to Mel Gibson.
Marky. Okay, so he was 16 when he went to jail, and that's what made him turn his life around. And the guy forgave him.
Oh,
okay. Wow. All right. This is what I know.
I'd still punch him for the happening.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing with the beef though is like you almost want it to be someone that it doesn't feel to me like to be punch level escalation. It's just like you just are both.
Beef,
you're just it's a rivalry, and you don't like each other, and it's very public, and like, yeah.
Well, what's yours? What's yours, Adam?
You know what? I've met.
You're verified on Twitter though, so you have to be so careful.
I will clip this now. Clip it now.
He's looking out for you.
You know what? So here's the thing.
Pick a wuss. Don't pick Terry Crews.
I have met this person in real life, and we had a perfectly cordial interaction. But I think it would be. I think it'd be really fun to beef with them on the internet in a big public way, but secretly be like, hey, this is so fun. I would love to get in a huge internet fight with Matthew Lillard. I feel like that would be very satisfying.
I don't know why I knew that you were going to say that. I don't know why I knew that.
Matt's a great guy and a totally nice person, but I think it'd be really fun to just take shots at each other on the internet for everyone's entertainment. So if you want to start a beef, Matthew Lillard, I'm right here. Let's do it.
I've met Matthew Lillard maybe like 4 times, and each time he never remembers me. Even
the best.
This is the real.
It's ammo. This is the ammo right here. Take notes, Adam. Take notes.
Interviewing him one
that
time.
tweet, Adam.
I'm doing it for Carlos. How dare you disrespect my friend Carlos?
We were at the first D&D thing or whatever, and that's when he announced Beetle and Grimm, and I was in the green room. It was me just sitting in the green room on my phone, and it was him and like 2 of his partners, and they went live and they started like live streaming it on their cell phones. And it's just like, hey, it's Matthew Lillard. We just launched Beetle and Grimm today, blah, blah, blah. And he turns the camera around to get the other guy, and I'm in the background, but I thought he was filming me, and I'm like, I go, and he turned the camera back on himself, and he said, I don't know that guy, and ended the stream.
Oh my God, good. See, now I have fuel. I have fuel for the beef.
Carlos, he does know you, and that's why he doesn't act like he knows you every time.
Yeah, right. Because what's he gonna say? Like, oh, you're that guy who was awkward from that video I was trying to make. Yeah. Carlos, content ruiner Luna.
I remember when you had that interview with Satine. You and Satine were hosting.
Oh yeah.
And he like came on and you were like, hey, and he was like, hey man. I was like, oh, Matthew Lillard. Blessing.
I had an earpiece for that thing, and they kept yelling at me. Like Satine took hers out right away, and I had it. So I had the people in the back yelling at me to go to the next person, and I kept trying to like be like, oh, thank you. And he's like, no, I'm staying here. And I'm like, no, you gotta go. And he's like, get him off the stage, get him off the stage. So maybe I have beef with Matthew.
All right, I'll back you up. I'll be your muscle. We'll do it. Internet
I'll
beefs.
watch. I'll stream it for you.
I really think though, like a good beef, it's like even if the people having the beef are in like real disagreement with one another, behind them there's some group of shadowy PR people being like, yes, good, continue your argument.
Or when it's really good beef, the PR people squash it, aka with Pusha T and Drake.
Right.
It was too good to live.
You know what?
I know everybody loves Drake, but come on.
I would punch him. I love Pusha T, and that's why I would punch Drake.
That's right. That's right.
I'm on that punch.
Hell Hath No Fury is such a good album. It's so good.
100%.
Phenomenal.
Punch Drake, punch Kanye. I would punch every fucking Kardashian.
I'd watch that.
Oh, mine is Countess Luann from Real Housewives of New York. That's it. Sent.
Countess?
Yes. Wait, can I put her hit song when she for those listening at home, if you'd like to live the experience that I'm now going to forward to my dear friends, please look up Money Can't Buy You Class. And go ahead and give that a little
self-aware.
listen.
Is she white?
Yes.
That's no offense, Katie Mae. That's a very white sounding song.
And the actual song sounds even whiter, my friend. So if you would like to now, I'll pull that up. That's the woman that I would.
How does she have from June?
Oh my God, the
1st,
wind chimes.
2020.
I'm sorry.
How's this video out already? It's not June 1st.
That's 2010.
It's just I'm blind. My bad.
It's funny because you're wearing your glasses and I am not.
Masood has become completely untethered from time now.
It's gone.
Just traveling through the universe, willy-nilly.
Just this is what happens in Chicago, guys. You become a time traveler really easily.
Fantastic.
Wait, but she's on tour also?
Yeah.
All right, I'm listening. Oh,
That's
Yeah,
the-
Countess
arrested.
Luann
yo,
tickets.
she works out. I can tell. Oh my gosh, this
Yeah.
autotune.
Waukegan, Illinois on June 6th.
And Masood and I are going, so
Right, we're actually gonna have the first official Jace Con 2020. It's gonna be in the parking lot of whatever that place in Illinois you just said. So come on down,
Here.
Jace Con 2020.
Putting the music video in the chat.
The first comment on the music video is, I'm playing this at my funeral.
Here's the thing. The timeline for Countess Luann was she wrote a book on etiquette, and then she put out this song, Money Can't Buy You Class. And
She is at least 20 years older than most of the men in this video, and you know what? Good for her.
The Carly Rae Jepsen vibe. I feel it.
And
No.
then she got married and then divorced within 6 months, got arrested, and then got sued by her children. That's the timeline.
She got
No.
sued by.
And now she's on The Real Housewives?
She's been on the Housewives the whole duration of what I just tell you. Of
You
what I just
can,
told you. Years.
She's really into drag queens, isn't she? Because this is very like, I want you to pretend RuPaul is singing this.
No,
Yeah.
It's a very like drag queen.
Here's the thing, is like I'm trying to think,
Song.
and she might be. There are a lot of other housewives on Real Housewives of New York who
She's-
are more that way.
But she's- Like when you get to the verses, the way she delivers the verses is 100% drag queen. Like
You're
it's very
right.
like work, fashion baby. Like it's very
Yeah.
like, I want the men in the background to like Vogue.
She's also
Yes.
clearly a very big T-Pain fan because of all the autotune that she's using throughout.
fucking get that diss in there, Masood. You got it so good.
Masood with the hot takes from 2010.
Ah, blaming
Autotune,
everybody.
Is it overused? I don't know. Yeah. Well,
Anyways,
should
that's
we
my
get
beef.
on with our own trash fire today? Should we?
I think
should
it's time.
resume it. All right, let's
Wait,
do it.
Give
wait,
everybody
wait.
else ammo to roast us.
Yeah. Start with everyone else because I've still got a minute and 18 seconds.
All right. Okay. Well, unfortunately, everybody's going to be getting together, so maybe Tack is still sleeping under the couch. So we now have a situation in which your former, I guess, still technically boss in the conspiracy, is now working undercover at the maid cafe to protect her and her identity from being found out. She's fled the Orzhov and she has ended up in a maid outfit. Happy birthday, TK. And so basically now is just like all of you, has this fake life where she's an undercover boss. Exactly. And so she's working in the maid cafe alongside Gary. And so the two of them are kind of running the cafe while you are going to head to District 4, Precinct 4. Yeah, Precinct 4.
Yes.
Heading for Precinct 4, headed for the Red Wastes to recruit the new Gruul clan leader, Domri Raid, to your cause. You're going to go and convince him that the correct course of action is to stop Jace Beleren from his continued reign of terror over Ravnica. So, is there anything that you would like to do in preparation for going to the Red Wastes, for going to Precinct 4, or do we just kind of open on you heading there?
I think I definitely get 8 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody should be. Yeah, you all definitely do get a chance to rest because we talked before at the end of them where everyone was like, I'm tired. Let's get a nap. So yeah, everybody's taking a long rest. You have all your hit points, all your abilities and everything are charged up.
I remember that I went into that room originally to tell Tack where to meet us, and then I just talked to the Rose instead. So I guess I definitely head back at some point to be like, by the way, Tack, here's where we're meeting. Because at some point I head back and grab Tack. out from underneath the couch, I suppose. Just like, come on, bud. And then I think I drop off like just like an overnight bag of like clothes for the Rose that aren't the goth Lolita thing, but not like suits, just like maybe if you need to go sneak somewhere or sleep.
All right. So you bring the Rose some changes of clothes, which she either appreciates or is disgusted by, depending on the fashion quality of these clothes. So I think we need to make a check here. I need to make like a fashion check. We need to make a quick vibe check on these clothes. Yeah.
If I had inspiration, I would use it right now.
It's a combination of thieves' tools and charisma proficiency.
Yeah, like, so what do we think here? Like, you're gonna pick some clothes and you're gonna bring them to the Rose, and I assume you're picking clothes that are going to like suit her and impress her,
right?
And then she's going to be like,
I would argue that it would be insight.
It is insight. So that's where I was headed too, for sure, because it's more about reading. It's about reading the person than it is. Like, Road, if you succeed at this, maybe you've got a future in personal shopping once all this conspiracy stuff is done. So deserves, yeah, let's have you make an insight check. I'm gonna get the DC. Let me just see.
No, what if it goes bad? I'm gonna die.
She's just gonna judge you. That's what's gonna happen.
And I'll be there to see it.
Oh, yeah. I also could get my nails done.
You're sleeping under the couch when this is going on. So yeah, Road, you come in with a garment bag and you give it to the Rose. Let's have you make that. I
feel like I'm awake for this. I can sense anxiety.
Ooh!
Ah, damn! Yeah, 22.
Damn.
Well done.
All
That's
right.
a big 22.
So she hangs the garment bag up and she unzips it, and there's a moment of pure terror, like the first step off a cliff. That instant of hanging in midair feeling, and she's looking through the clothes and she turns around and she doesn't say anything. She just gives you the slightest nod, like, like, good. You weren't trying to insult me. I see. And yeah, she doesn't say anything. Like, she doesn't say like, oh, I appreciate this or thank you or anything that a normal person would do. But that little intense nod is enough to know that you did right by her. That she's not going to, be angry about your attempt to embarrass her. So, do you have anything else you want to talk to? You want to talk to her about anything while you're here?
Yes, but no. I scoop Tack up and we're gonna go.
Do you carry me like a baby?
I carry you like Babby. Yes.
Oh my god.
I love you just crouch down and just pick Tack up. And Tack's just curled up in a filthy little ball.
I am very sticky.
Yes.
God damn it. You're covered in maple syrup. I fucking forgot. I'm so mad still. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you recover Tack and then head out. So where does everybody meet? Because I know you split up, and Torgor and Winnegar, you were. Well, let's cut to Torgor and Winnegar. Are you guys are you getting breakfast? Are you, because you stayed at Winnegar's place, right?
Yeah, I crashed on Winnegar's couch.
Yeah, I think we'd be getting some breakfast, some eats.
Do you want to?
We agreed to meet at a breakfast place.
Yeah, maybe they're.
Do you want to do like a
Two
pre-breakfast before we go? Do you want to?
Yeah. You don't want to show up to breakfast on an empty stomach, for sure.
No, that's terrible, because then you just eat everything. That's really not a good. You got any OJ?
You're pre-gaming your brunch.
Yeah, just a little orange juice and like grapes to settle the stomach before the actual meal.
Yeah, I actually orange juice and grapes. It's a weird combo, right?
It's a lot.
Call it a mimosa like everyone else.
I see. The grapes are in liquid form and then they've been aged for a long time.
Just call it a mimosa.
Can I get a glass of grapes and orange juice?
Yeah.
But like
just
old
full
grapes.
Just
really old grapes. Can I get
that you like squashed in the juice? Just the juice,
grape.
Actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we call that wine.
I'm eating oranges. Yeah. And
yeah.
Yeah, let's just I guess we're just gonna walk over. I just got this I got this harvest bar. I don't know.
I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't eat that.
Open it up in the package, or else it's gonna fall.
I was about to say you have to make a sleight of hand check, not to the whole thing crumble. So
yeah, there's honey oat. I don't even want it.
You know what? Winninger, make a sleight of hand check. Let's see how your granola bar survives. You attempt to open the granola bar.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with a 9, it's mostly crushed already, and so you get kind of a bag of granola that you have to pour into your hand.
All right, Adam, move the vinegar gets mice clock up 1. Getting close.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah. So you arrive at brunch somewhat unsatisfied and covered in crumbs. But yeah, so where do the four of you meet? Do you have a place in mind, or do you just pick something kind of near a train station? What do you think? Let's set that scene for me.
I think we had said that we were going to meet at a restaurant kind of near the train station at Precinct 4. Like there's a sort of spot nearby that we were just like a little cafe that we were going to get together and meet up at. So I think it would probably be us. Like you cut to like us walking out with our coffees or like beverages in hand, like looking out at the Rumble Belt. Is that what that area is called?
The Rubble Belt. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
the
it's,
Rubble Belt.
If from where you're standing, if you look northeast, you can see the massive fortress of Nivix. And then above it, it's clear now after a few days of this storm that A, it's not going anywhere. And B, it's the Izzet League's fault, because if you look, there is essentially like a hurricane's eye over Nivix. That is the eye of the storm that is spread across Ravnica. And probably, Winnegar, you've heard like bits and pieces of from the sort of Izzet rumor network. You've heard that like nobody is asking the kinds of questions that you would expect them to ask. Maybe the Selesnians have like come to Nivix and been like, what are you doing? But the Azorius are ignoring it. Everybody's turned inward. And so this massive storm or whatever it is, whatever its purpose, it's now clear that it's the Izzet's responsibility. They did it, but nobody is really like taking them to task for it, despite the fact that everybody's miserable because of all the rain. So you can see that looking north, and you know past that is the Rubble Belt. And the Gruul clans and Sunhome and kind of all of that stuff. But we haven't really been up here before, so
I guess we start trudging along then, huh? Okay.
Do any of us know our way around here super well, or are we all just kind of like, I don't really come here often?
Why don't you make a religion check? Let's see what Road knows.
No, I was just wondering. I
mean, this isn't about doing it. This is just to see what Road might know about this area.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
A 9.
Okay, so you know just the most basic stuff. So beyond Nivix, there's Sunhome. Sunhome is the Boros headquarters. And then right next to it, along the Transguild Promenade, is the Red Wastes, which is a big chunk of Rubble Belt. And then on the other side of that, so the Red Waste is sort of a no man's land between Skarg and Sunhome. And there's technically no Gruul headquarters, right? They don't have a single place, but Skarg is like a gathering place for the Gruul. And you know that this area is pretty much just a constant like battlefield between the two. The Gruul clans want to knock over every building in Ravnica and return it to its natural state, and the Boros want to fight them, so they don't do that. And so that's what the Red Wastes pretty much are. It's just a battleground between those two factions.
Do I know if there's a Dimir drop point along the way towards like from where we are towards the Rubble Belt? Because I think I definitely want to drop off a message about everything that's happened within like the last 48 hours to the Dimir, just so that they're in the loop.
I made a drop last night, so
okay. Torgor doesn't know that,
so I think he still
so I think he still wants to, and but he does. Well, that's the question. Do I know? I think Torgor might go over to Road and be like, "Hey, so it's been a busy 48 hours for all of us,
right?
And I feel like there's some people who should be informed.
Yes.
Is there a place that we can tell them about all that's happened along the way?"
I sent a drop last night, but if there's anything
Oh, you
Yeah.
already did. Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what the chain of command is for our team or things like that, but I did.
No.
spend a
I'll
lot.
tell you.
I
real
did
quick. So
spend a lot
it
of
goes
anxiety. I
Vinegar,
mean, I was talking.
it goes
for a
Vinegar,
moment,
Torgor, me, everybody else.
Okay.
It sort of.
I will take that I'm above Vinegar. That does sound right. And so
I did put you at kind of an equal level.
And you know what? I saw the height difference, and that's what matters to me.
Okay.
But I will say, could you just asking as a subordinate then? Could you let me know when that happens so then I don't have to worry and feel like it's my responsibility?
I don't think you should worry at all, but yes, I will tell you.
Perfect. In the meantime, hope you and your girlfriend have a great time back at the shop. And then I turn around and I just start walking to the Rebel Bell.
So, do you want to roll deception here, Torgor, or
I don't think they're
taking shots at Road?
I think just casually after that whole like immediate like hierarchy statement, like just like kind of twisting and then just like making the walk.
We got beef.
And its name, Torgor.
Yeah, Torgor is the beef. It's true.
Yeah, all right. Guess we're gonna have a tense breakfast.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So yeah, when you all like go to sit, I guess, or actually I guess you were coming out, right? Because you were saying you got takeout and you're like walking to the station. Okay. So yeah, again, any information that you wanna glean or anybody you wanna stop along the way to ask. Otherwise, we can just jump to the train. I can talk a little bit about your arrival in the area.
Let's strategize before we get there, huh? I don't want anybody to overhear our strategies. Just like
nope, we just run in there. Don't even think about it.
It has worked out for me 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Am
that
I
might
still
be
carrying you? Do I need to?
I
invest
sure
in, like,
hope
a
you weren't
baby
carrying
blood?
me during that weird Demir conversation.
No, I wasn't. You're right.
They're asleep. They can't hear you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Sleeping.
And honestly, Tackle just assumed that you guys are fighting because you're both seeing other people, but I guess still together. It's weird.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
So, but isn't this like kind of like the dichotomy of like, and I think Torgor goes on this whole rant of being like, if they're Gruul, we can't really anticipate what's coming our way because it's all about breaking things down and reacting. And that's what they're looking for, is how we react and sort of respond. I don't know. I think
we're not in favor right now, right? So is there something, can we knock a building down and then be like, we knocked this building down for you. Do you want to kill someone with us? Is there like an active favor that we can commit?
I think we can just kill some of their own and prove our worthiness. I think like that's kind of the vibe.
That's actually a pretty good handle on how the Gruul operate. Yeah. Like dealing with the Gruul, the sort of like first day of prison thing kind of works. Like just show up, start kicking some ass, and then they'll take you seriously.
Not for me, but it works for other people.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I guess Vinegar and I will be sort of following and I gesture to attack and Torgor, your leads.
Yeah.
With this one. So
the biggest thing I'd say is just watch your backs, because if we're running up front, someone could get behind you. So just keep your head on a swivel.
okay.
Yeah, then otherwise, I don't know. Let's finish up these Danishes and get in there.
It's nice. They're good Danishes.
They're good Danishes. Honestly, the place was like almost going under. We got to tell people about it.
I'm sad it's so far out of the way,
I think maybe that's just it. It's just location.
And it's like, do you feel like you're cheating on the host in the shell? Because
no,
these
I
Danish
don't.
is better.
I think they're like all around pastry game is probably stronger at the host, but you can have someone who specializes,
Yeah. Anyways, let's get on this train.
Let's just get on this trip.
Yeah. Like watching them bond over these Danishes, Tack just like elbows Vinegar super hard, is like, they're definitely
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
They got beef, as we say in the business.
Like business.
I don't know. It's just what people say, Tack. Come on.
Just eat your Danish, you fucking weirdo.
Do you know that the plural of Danish is either Danishes or Danish? You can use the singular as a plural.
Whoa.
So if you want to
I
sound
didn't know
weird
that.
next time you're getting breakfast.
Let's go grab some Danish.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say or Danai.
Yeah, I really thought Danish was coming.
It's from the Latin Danii, meaning many treats.
Yeah.
Danish cheese. Adam, why is that a thing you know and chose to share with us?
Because when you were talking about Danishes, I thought it sounded weird and I looked it up to confirm.
I like that you looked it up.
I did, yeah.
I do like that it's like a
False
recent knowledge.
information,
Yeah.
all right? It's April 1st. You have to be very careful about these things.
Yeah, very careful.
I
Or
always
else
think
you
for
get- that's how
some
you get
reason.
beef.
That's how you get beef. That's right.
Exactly.
Somebody's going to embarrass themselves by saying Danishes at a meeting. They're going to get fired. They're going to blame it on me. I have to get it out there. Make sure everybody knows. Yeah.
Are there savory Danishes? Like, are there Danishes with meat in them, or are they?
Excuse me. I think you mean, are there
Really
savory
fruity.
Danish?
You said either Danish or Danishes.
And I will
I have
say-
a choice.
That's true. I will say I do know a fair number of salty Danes. So yeah, I think probably yes. There
Get
are.
out of here. No, it was. I knew it was
they
going to
do have-
happen,
that
and
feels.
I'm mad.
Yeah, that feels. I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna.
When did we become the fucking athletic council on jokes? Are we all gonna hold up numbers now every time somebody makes a bad joke?
I actually like that. Can we somehow
Yeah.
add that feature of a
The
1
only
to 10
reason
scale?
The only reason that you are objecting is because you know that you're gonna get the lowest score.
Damn.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
I
it's
can pull
not.
my fucking weight.
It's not my job. It's not my job to be funny. It's
Do you
fine.
know how many steroids I take?
I do now.
Wait. Do you know?
One.
He has a tat.
Fucking ready.
I'm a sucker for prop
cards.
comedy. What can I say? I love
I
it.
only have X and O cards for safety tools.
Right. Unfortunately, there's no amount of protection that this show will be able to give you to be protected from shitty jokes. So that's just how it goes.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
What were we doing?
Yeah. What was
We're
going
talking
on?
about Danes.
Talking about
And
Danish.
Danish.
Talking about Danish. So yeah, so you have breakfast. You have a brief chat in the bakery, in your forbidden bakery, and then head for the train. And at the train station, on the overhead display, which of course is hologram powered by magic, on the display it shows that the line normally has several stops past Sunhome, but that Sunhome is the end of the line temporarily. So it's got kind of like lines through the rest of the line. And there's a rotating message like, due to public safety issues, this line terminates at Sunhome Station.
Yeah. We should probably get off at the stop before Sunhome, just because let's avoid Boros seeing us leave into the rubble belt.
You didn't want to stop and say hi to your brother?
Oh, come
A little
on.
quick family reunion.
I mean, I would love to, but we actually chat regularly, so there's no reason for us to like see one another. We have a healthy, I'm not going to get into it, but
some of
but I
us have a healthy relationship with our siblings. Road.
I think
I
it'd be
like-
better for me not to invade his personal space while he's working, and for him not to invade mine while I am.
I like to think that the four of us were all sitting together at first, but as they start sniping at each other on the train, Vinegar and Tack just find excuses to get up.
Right. Actively making sure that everyone else
like-
in the car doesn't think that you're friends.
Ooh, wow, I'm gonna go rob someone. I'll be right back.
I mean, Tack, if you're bored and you want to try to pickpocket some people on the train, you are completely welcome to make that attempt.
I was actually going to
Yes.
see if I can fight Vinegar to hide in the bathroom away from mom and dad fighting, as I would like to rob someone.
So let's just be clear about these trains. It's really more the BART and less an Amtrak, right? There's no bathrooms on this train.
I don't know anything about trains.
That I don't think that would have stopped TK from letting Tack go wherever they wanted. I think.
Right. Tack's like, I go to the bathroom on the train. And I'm like, but there aren't any bathrooms on the train. I didn't say I go to the bathroom. I said I go to the bathroom on the train. Listen to my inflection. I'm speaking.
Look, I just had a birthday. I'm older and wiser.
No, you can't. No, a week later, you can't invoke your birthday.
Yeah.
No.
I am beyond these childish.
You are. No,
Right, okay, so
support TK.
We pan over to Tack, and Tack is wearing like a top hat and a monocle now for some reason, looking very grown up, reading a business
Nothing
newspaper.
else. Nothing else.
Yeah.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, I want to rob someone.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Do it. So you can make a sleight of hand check.
I forgot what I was supposed to click for a minute. I got it.
Cool.
Boom.
Nice. 21.
Hey, 21.
There we go.
All right. So I'm gonna
Baby.
honestly, I don't think there's a way for that 21 is the average commoner is cannot resist that. So yeah, you steal some money.
Give me your money.
Let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a choice. So
Yeah.
So you reach in their pocket, and you can either have eight Xenos, right? 8 gold, or you can grab there's like some papers in their satchel.
First of all, how dare you? Obviously, I'm taking the papers.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you reach in and you just like yank out this roll of papers and you sneak away with them. And then I assume scramble under a bench to read them, or
Yeah. Are they naughty photos?
they're not. No, they're identification and work permit papers, though.
Oh, I'm super taking those.
Yeah. It's so this person is some kind of like mid-level construction like foreman or something, and they were headed for a reconstruction project in the precinct, and these are their papers to allow them to work, and it's their ID basically. So they're gonna get to work and they're gonna have a very bad day. But there's no description or photo, right? There's just like name and position, a bunch of official looking stamps from both the Boros and the Azorius. So
Tack has like a little thought bubble come up where like it's just this flashback of all the times their teammates have told them what good like construction workers they are, and they're just like, huh. Well, this is trash. It's just like throws out no. No, I'll keep it.
Okay. Yeah, you can hang on to it. Do you
We
need
gotta
to
retire. We gotta have a retirement plan, guys. Conspiracy isn't gonna last forever.
Well, that, and we can use it to sneak in.
Oh, right. Sorry, I got lost thinking about life after this. Yeah, that sounds great.
Why do you think we're gonna live through this?
It's the little things, Tech. But yeah, that's super useful. Nice.
a faint series of chimes announces your arrival at the station prior to Sunhome. If you'd like, you can get off here and you can head north. You're somewhere sort of between the station. There's several stations at Nivix. Nivix is like a train hub because the Izzet run the trains. So there's dozens of trains that go through Nivix. It's sort of the like Shinjuku station of Ravnica. And then one of the lines, so you would transfer at Nivix, you'd get on to like the red line, and it heads towards Sunhome, and there's a stop between Nivix and Sunhome that you can get off at if you'd like. And then, yeah, it sounded like Torgor, you had intended that you would get off early and then try to avoid the Boros and find a way to cross over. There isn't like a formal border, but if you kind of look at the map, you can see the battle lines kind of look like they end up around here. And so if the station, the underground station is like down there, you could get up and kind of maneuver through the streets, try to get to an unpatrolled area if you want to avoid Boros entanglement.
I think so. And I think what you see is after like we get off is Torgor doesn't go to this neighborhood ever, but he knows these streets and these routes because this is where he grew up. So like getting in and out of Boros land was something he used, like he would have to sneak out the other way oftentimes when he was younger. And so I think in this way, he just like guides everybody through to get into Sunhome, at least like in the back area, to then make their way into the Rebel Belt.
Okay. So getting off of the train at this station, you can see there are tons of like, you're surrounded by Boros propaganda. So everything here is gold, ivory, and red, right? There's big pennants and banners hanging all over the place. There's the fist icon of the Boros Legion. All the posters are in a kind of like this sort of Soviet propaganda style, lots of square jaws, lots of looking off into the distance, sort of proletarian themes of like, we can rebuild it, and like smack the gruel in their face. And it's got a minotaur like punching a goblin. And so they're all like warning you that both they're trying to do this thing, the security theater thing, where they're like, A, being here means you're in danger, but B, you can only rely on the Boros to take care of you, right? Like, we've got it. Everything here is dangerous. Watch out, but don't worry, because we have angels to protect you. And I think there are security guards in the station as you get out, and you can see they're wearing the sort of bronze armor and the helmets and axes of the Legion. And yeah, these guys are everywhere. And it seems like things have gotten more heated around here since the last time that you were in this neighborhood, Torgor. Mm-hmm. Certainly, it's more aggressive than it used to be.
Guys, just be on our toes. It's definitely, the storm's been kicking up some dust here too. And then I think we just try to make our way through. I don't know if anyone else wants to say anything or hop in, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So are we trying to be sneaky in this, or are we just trying to casually avoid?
Yeah, if you need me to pass without a trace, I can, but
I don't know.
You're leading, so.
How do we find the toughest guy?
Not here. Not
yet.
Here.
Don't punch an angel in the face, Winnegar.
Don't.
He's been eyeing me the entire time.
Winnegar's already ready to just punch somebody in the face.
Punch this guy.
Yeah, because you've still got like that hyped up vampire energy. You're still like
Rose told us to do. No, actually, it might have been enough time for it to wear off.
Has it been 24 hours yet?
Oh, it's 24 hours.
8
oh,
hours.
yeah.
It's only been 8 hours.
So, yeah, you're still amped up on Rose love.
The way I like it. Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah, Winnegar.
Okay, sorry, it's hot in here. God.
Watch Killing Eve. Trust me.
Yeah.
TK, you have
Somebody
to.
better actually
TK
die
doesn't
in
want
this.
to watch Killing Eve, and I don't understand it.
Wait.
It's not that I don't want to. I just never heard of it. What's it about?
Just be prepared.
You know what?
Hulu.
You guys do what you're doing.
We'll talk about it at break.
Now.
We'll just talk about
We'll
break.
talk about break.
Hulu now. I'm so excited.
So I think Torga's like, actually, if I am leading, then Road, we should pass without our trace through this just to be safe.
All right. I get it done. Okay.
So you're coming up the stairs of the stone. Imagine everything around here to be like, when you're thinking about the architecture style, or you're thinking about like imagining the neighborhood. Imagine kind of like the architecture of the Boros Legion tends to be sort of neoclassical, lots of columns, sort of triangular shapes, lots of ivory colored stone, lots of sandstone. Statues in every plaza of various Boros like heroes, and then hanging from every window enormous red and white flags with the Boros Legion on it. It's a very patriotic neighborhood, and the set dressing like makes that clear, right? They're big on making sure that everybody knows who runs this part of town. And as you come up the stairs of this fairly like Baroque station, it's one of the smaller ones, so it's not as ostentatious as it might be. You come up into the main area, and there's a crowd, a bunch of people kind of jammed up in the like vestibule area of this station, and there's a lot of grumbling and people like looking at each other. Tension. Immediately, you feel like tension in the crowd is quite high, and the entrance and exit of this station is blocked. The crowd is between you and the exit. You can see it at the far end, the banners hanging down in the big archways, but there doesn't seem to be any movement. And so you come up into this big crowded room, and the pack of, and it's the worst too, because it's all people who were out in the rain, and then they were on a train, and now they're jammed in a station. So everyone's like damp and a little bit like annoyed. And it looks like there's something going on the other side of the room, but you're separated from it by a big crowd.
Crap, what's everyone doing here? I want to tap someone on the shoulder and ask them
okay,
what's going on.
Yeah, you tap a woman on the shoulder next to you. She turns around.
Why is everyone standing here? What's going on?
She shrugs. Some kind of checkpoint. She sighs and she says, I'm going to be late for work.
Okay, I don't want to hear your life story. Guys, there's some type of checkpoint going on.
Okay. Hey, that's why it's a good thing that Tech got those papers.
I love neutral align vinegar.
Okay.
All right, whatever.
That was the equivalent of Winnegar walking up to an NPC and pressing A and then realizing they had 7 paragraphs of stuff and then just mashing A until they shut up.
No.
You're part of a quest. I don't care.
Get to telling me what I need to know. Yeah.
Just like hits the menu button, hoping to.
Yeah. I've updated my journal.
Yeah.
Foreman.
So yeah, there's this big crowd between you and the exit.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna get let through a checkpoint?
Well, I mean, now we have these papers. We should be fine if we just say we're all together.
This is just one ID.
But it doesn't specify. Someone could say that they're under someone else's management.
Okay. You know how to work the Boros. So if you think it's good, then it's good.
Tack goes ahead and hands all the papers to Torvar. It's just like, you're the foreman.
Got it. Okay. Perfect. This is a dream that you've wanted, and now you just make it a reality for this moment. Okay. All right. And
it's gonna lead to something.
Torvar's actually been building all the props himself and the stages and the set design, and it's like really where he's been enjoying a lot of the artistry of working with his hands and his hooves. But he just sort of like moves forward with the paperwork in tow.
Immediate regret.
Okay. Well, so how are you going to get through the crowd? Because there's like
is there any lines?
Well, this is the thing, right? Yeah. The closer to the checkpoint there are a few lines. You can see like one for each entrance and exit. And then behind it, the lines all disintegrate into a sort of clustered mass.
Mm-hmm. I like turn to road, and I ask, like, do you think I don't know if there's any way we could get through here without going through the checkpoint.
That would be a question for Tech, right?
Yeah.
Can you find anything?
Sure, I'll look around.
Okay.
Yeah, Tack.
And then in the meantime, we'll just start getting in line.
Starts looking around for like sewer grates or air ducts or closets.
Yeah. So what are you looking for? Just like alternate ways in and out of this place that a Golgari eye might be able to notice that other people wouldn't?
Yeah, definitely. Because it's a station, that means that they need to have routes for maintenance crews. They need to have routes for like cleaning crews and things like that. If somebody is being detained, they're not going to be detained straight through the checkpoint. They're going to have another way, another route. So that's what TAC is looking for, is like maybe like a maintenance route or something like that, or any ducts or tunnels that might be able to accommodate people that are bigger than TAC.
Okay. Make an investigation check as you search around the area.
+1 to investigation. Ooh.
Hey,
14's not bad. Yeah. Okay, so with a 14, I think that's the caveat of tunnels that are for bigger people. That's what makes it tricky. You find like 3 or 4 different ways that you could get out of here. Nice. But it takes you a while to find something that seems like it might be an option for the others. So I think you're right. I think that there would be like it's a Boros area, so there would definitely be like a holding cell for anybody that gets busted by transit security. There'd be like an interview room, and then a place where the Boros like leave their stuff, and then from there is a janitorial like a side door that leads into the kind of like lower maintenance tunnels. You could also access it directly by going down to the platform and like sneaking along the tracks if you want something that's a little bit less likely to get you caught in a hallway. Because if you go, it's just a big door that says like Legion members only.
Yeah, it's just got like a little do not pass sign on a tiny chain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you have two options, right? You can manage, you can go down to the platform and you can jump the security fence and you can sneak into the tunnel that way. And that'll lead you into this other area with some other way out. Or you can go into the back hallway, but the risk there is that a Boros coming back from break or someone in the back will run into you. So yeah, so you search around and have those options. Torgor, Road, and Winnegar, you're all going to wait in line. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Can I get Constitution saving throws from everybody?
Ooh.
Yeah, just all three of you, not you, Tack. You're off doing your own thing.
That's good because my Constitution is
12,
garbage.
7. Oh, Torgor.
Nat 1.
What the hell? Why are you both so bad? The DC was 8. It was 8. Okay, so
I have stillness of mind though, so I can't be charmed or frightened.
you are neither charmed nor frightened. Both Torgor and Road, this process, the time you spend jammed into this place with all these other people, you both take a level of exhaustion. So make a note of that. I'll link what that does. And by the time Tack comes back, you're both feeling just like miserable and sweaty, and it's just
Or even grumpier.
Yes, exactly. You're just you're stewing in your own and other people's misery. So yeah, it's not great.
Sells the lovers' quarrel even more.
I feel like the propaganda is working on Winnegar. That's why he.
Yeah.
Keep calm and Boros on. Okay, yeah, I guess I could.
Somebody in the chat said Winnegar is excellent at waiting in lines, and honestly, I can see it.
Oh yes.
Winnegar seems like the guy who'd like let 3 or 4 families in front of him at Chipotle.
I'm still deciding. Please go.
Like he actually knew what he wanted and picked everything out online, but like his card didn't go through the app or something, so he had to come in. So he knows exactly what he wants. He's just like,
or he's got a full
fine.
grocery cart and he keeps letting people in front of him that only has like 3 items. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you only got 3 items. Go ahead. Oh, you only have 5. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah.
so Winnegar is from another dimension after all, the dimension of Canada.
Adam, stop trying to get us to move to Canada.
You're not allowed. The maple curtain is up. Stay back. No traffic. So yeah, you wait in line, and Winnegar, it's fine for you. You feel very reassured being in a queue. This is okay for you. Road and Torgor, yeah, maybe it's the sweatiness, maybe it's the fact that it's like you're packed into a marble hall that is slightly too warm, but outside is slightly too cold. Everyone's damp. People keep jostling you. Everybody's getting worked up. Plus, you've been
bumping into me.
Yeah, you've been beefing at each other.
Would you
all
stop
day.
bumping into me? I just don't understand. Like, you know how broad my shoulders are. I can't affect that.
You've got no
flat
spatial
tire.
awareness is the thing.
Oh, spatial. Well, maybe it's easier when you spatially take up, I don't know, maybe 6 inches when you turn sideways. Some of us are built bigger. It's harder, okay?
Oh my gosh. In my fan fiction, Torgor has like turned around to give her a talking to, but then the line like smushed in and he can't turn back.
God.
So they're like chest to chest. Understand how broad my shoulders are, and her hands are like on her shoulder. She's like, no, don't. I'm like,
I like it.
I'm
I like
so ready to write this fan fiction. Please continue.
And then Winnegar in the background just being like, do, 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 do.
Keep calm and Borusan.
Yeah, but with the Boros, the poster would be like, it'd be an angry minotaur and it would say, keep calm or else. Right.
Yeah. No, just keep calm.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you're very slowly making your way up to the front of the line, getting more and more exhausted and frustrated. And Tack, you come back from casing the joint, and you return to find this situation. Winnegar's doing fine. Torgor and Road looking a little cranky. What do you tell your friends?
That's Tack's vision. It's like when they get back, it's just like, wow.
Okay, so good news. There's like a bunch of ways out of here, which is great. And they'll even accommodate you guys, which is fine because you're big.
Yes, some of us are.
You just
feels
hear,
like
like,
a little chill in the air.
You've never heard Torgor huff louder in that particular moment.
I feel like Minotaur nostril flaring is a very like nuanced method of communicating that most non-Minotaurs don't understand, right? Like,
absolutely, yeah.
I'm getting some Red Bull from Last Unicorn vibes here. And making me uncomfortable. Also, side note, did anybody ever want the Red Bull and the Last Unicorn to kiss? I did. I thought that'd be cute. Anyway,
that movie scared me as a kid, so I don't
it's
remember
beautiful,
much
and they should smooch. Anyway, yeah. So Tack goes on a tiny tangent, and then it's like, oh, well, we can either go down the hallway that's marked like don't touch or whatever, but fuck them, they're cops. And if we run into anybody, we kill them. Or we can do the way sneakier way, go down the tunnel. We won't run into anybody, but we could die.
I mean,
why would we die?
Yeah, what?
Because trains go in those tunnels.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What an ignoble end to this campaign. And then they were all hit by a train and killed. The end.
Literally, that's how the one shot I ran in Ravnica ended.
Just pan slowly up to the train. We see Jace Beleren in some overalls and a conductor's hat, and he looks at the camera.
Choo choo.
He's played by Mark Wahlberg.
No, I'm trying to squash that beef. Once I found that man forgave him, who am I to be mad at him? You know what I mean?
Who am I to be mad at him?
I don't know. I was just trying to think of like the most annoying person to wink at me through a camera.
Oh, TJ Miller.
Oh,
you're
wow.
right.
That was quick.
I got my list, guys. I'm ready.
God.
I know you said TJ Miller, but I immediately thought of Tay Diggs, and I was like, oh, I'm not annoyed.
Oh,
Delightful.
Maybe nice.
I get confused all the time.
So, what do you guys say? Do we cut through? Either way, I would rather just make a choice and move.
Yeah, I want to get out of here. Get out of this line.
I really trust us.
End it.
Yes.
Or end me. One of those things. So, yeah, you can talk your way past a few Boros people, right? That's not hard.
Yeah, honestly.
They're all dumb.
I'd rather take some Boros than deal with a train. And also, if need be, Winnegar can disguise himself as a Boros and get us through.
That's true.
Actually, wait.
I mean,
I can disguise myself as a Boros and get us through now. We don't even need Winnegar on this.
Wait, what? Yeah, you do. Everyone needs Winnegar. What are you talking about?
All right, let's just think option one and not think too hard about my last statement.
Yeah. And if anybody runs into us, we just kill them. But it's getting real hard to hide cops' bodies nowadays.
All right, let's just go.
Let's just go.
Let's get out of this line.
Let's
just get out of this line.
What route did you decide to take? Are you going to go to the train, or are they going to the back room?
The back room of the Boros.
Go to the back rooms?
Yes,
okay.
we're not taking the train.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, and I've got that. This is probably the point where I activate Pass Without a Trace.
I would say
yeah,
at this moment.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. All right, so you concentrate on your spell, and a veil
I
of
disguise myself
of shadows
as,
and silence.
What's it called? Gorbor.
Okay, so you want to cast disguise self and pretend to be your brother?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right,
guys. Cool. I'm Gorbor. I like to make my bed in the morning. God, it's such a good impression. It's spot on.
That's
it really
what he
is.
Sounds like.
The base of every good impression is just saying things that everyone knows about the person you're impersonating.
Also, them saying their own name.
Yes, yeah, you have to
I'm
say
Gorbor.
I'm so and so. That's the rule. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so I think the shot then before we go to break is the group of you approaching this very forbidding open archway with a very small metal chain across it that says Boros Legionnaires only, and then unclipping the chain and sneaking past. Ooh, breaking the law here on Jace Beleren Must Die.
Ooh.
Stick around. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back after this with more episode. Don't go anywhere.